I have to get my... There, we'll see just a little better. It's warm in here. Opa. Hello, hello. How are you? It is warm in here. I might have to go get my fan. It's a little warm. It's not, I mean, if it was just a little bit later, it's just it's 70, which isn't like bad for those who do Fahrenheit. For those of us who do Celsius, it's 21. There's nothing wrong with that. It's a good temperature, but it's a little warm in here. Okay. Hello, hello. Oh, where was I? Where was I? All right. I think I'm pretty good. Hello. How are you tonight? I am just sharing out my live. I'm going back and forth between two. I have several channels that I'm live on right now. Where did I stop on this one? No, much further. There we are. So I'm just sending it out. I mean, I really believe that it should just end up wherever. Like if it's meant to land on your feed, it lands on your feed, right? It's all about magnetism and resonance and all of that, right? So I ask that this live goes out to those who are meant to see it. That's the intention. Hello. White Wolf Troy or Schoolboy. Alrighty. You have to give yourself some likes. You just do. How are you? It's like a tiny, tiny name. I would never be able to see it. Hello, hello. All right. I've given myself some likes. Now, if you're hanging out for a little bit, it's your turn. Okay. All righty. What are we going to do? We are going to, I think I'm going to run and grab a fan because it's a little bit warm in here. Hello. There. That's a bit better. Hi, Pankush. How are you? Hello. I don't know if you're there anymore, but hello. Hi, Joe. Hello, hello. Alrighty. Hi, Steve. I don't know if I missed you, but if I did, sorry. I was running to get a fan because it was very warm in this room. And so now I'm good. Oh, I'll have to make sure I don't run over my. Sometimes I like to stand. Sometimes standing's better. Hello, hello, hello. What should we teach today? All righty. Well, I'm going to sit here and I'm going to be careful not to do so. I'm going to hold on with moving that. I'm going to put on a little bit. Hello. Say hi. Tell me where you're from. Don't be shy. I wasn't here right away when I started the live because I had to run it. Hi. I'm from Canada as well, Alberta to be correct, but to be more accurate. Far from shy, right? Me too. Me too. Me too. Right? I wonder if that's one of the things that makes it more challenging. I wonder if my lives would be better if it was just one channel. If doing lives on all the different ones. Yes. Yeah, they do have some pretty good trade shows for crystals and minerals and rocks and minerals. I'm originally Ontario though. And I also lived in BC once for a while. Yeah. So I wonder because I'm just trying to figure out, like wondering kind of why my lives have just been kind of meh. Right. And, I know I've got great content. I know I've got great things to teach, but I wonder if it's because, there's channels up there, here. And if that's just, I don't know. I'm always trying to refine things, right? Not always assuming that it's just a mismatch of what I'm teaching. Sometimes you got to look at tech. Maybe there's some tech things going on. Yeah, I was just gonna put on some background music. Some background music. Yeah. So that's what it is. And I've changed so much of, so I'll just put a little lower. So when I first started out on social media and on TikTok and everything, it was about 5 years ago. I had retired from nursing, opened up my own company with a goal of helping people with trauma and mental health because that's what I had dealt with. And that's just, I've done some promoting, but when I do the promoting, I almost feel like I'm just paying for the likes. And I'm like, I shouldn't have to pay for my likes. the one promotion that because I've only promoted a couple of times. The one time I promoted, they said it was like it was $100, right? Was what I paid for. And they talk about how you're supposed to get like 1,000 plus new followers. So this was to get followers, because I have classes that are coming up, and I was like, well, if they put it out in front of people that like the type of content that I do, then it'll be out in front of the people. Yeah, exactly, right. And it was like one per dollar. And I was like, I'm not doing that anymore. I'm not doing that anymore. You know, yeah, it's just, it's interesting. It's interesting. It'd be really nice if people woke up and realized that much of what is very, 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 very popular is not what you want to be going with, because it tends to be bought and paid for. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm thinking about like shifting, right? Like when you have to look at where you're benefiting the most, right? So yeah. I have some really cool things that I've been doing at the website, at the School of Light, getting courses ready, putting them on. Yeah, definitely not. I'm just natural. I'm just me, right? And that's what we're supposed to be. Natural. Me. Only you be you, but you know what I mean. So yeah, right now I'm doing Return to Center, which is a 7-day course that teaches you tools and practices to come back to your center. And then in September, on the 9th, I'm starting Return to Self. And Return to Self is a much deeper program where we go in and we're just really peeling back those layers and remembering who we are, and learning, relearning our nervous system so it understands what safety is and things like that. So I'm looking forward to teaching those classes coming up, but I have a lot of other offerings that I'm doing. One of the ones I'm the most excited about, like it just gets me so excited, is the intuitive artwork that I'm doing. And so you fill out a questionnaire, which I'm just in the process right now of putting the questionnaire on online. I was thinking about emailing it, but I think I like it better this way. So they'll just fill it out as they purchase it. So anyway, they fill out the questionnaire and submit it. And once you submit the questionnaire, then I am going to, based on that questionnaire, I do this. It's a very special process for me. So, I sit before my altar, which is literally to the elements. So, nothing fancy, guys. There's a little bit, like there's this rock that I found that looks like a little hook, and some stuff, and some earth things, and I have that in the north corner, in the north, because that direction represents earth. And then in the east, I have air. So I have things that represent air, like feathers, and I have a broom, like a broom that's made with feathers as well. Then to the south is fire. So I have a candle there to represent fire. And then on the west is water. So I have a bowl with water that I've spoken into. And then in the center is ether. So in the center is where there's another candle, but it's in like a crystal lotus flower, and there's crystals around it. But so I sit there and I get into state, and I connect with what you've written on your paper. And then I channel the drawing. And it was really, really, oh my goodness. It's so powerful. I'll show you, because I do have the picture. Let me see.
I have to think. I haven't been, this is my old phone. You know how you have the old phone? This is my old phone. I have to remember how to use it. No. We're gonna make mute it, mute. We don't want any volume. I just wanted to get my picture. All right. So I'm someone who, maybe you understand this. I'm someone who, a lot of my life, I've done things for other people first. So I'm very creative. I love to draw. I love to do all kinds of artistic things. I love it. It's so cute. And I love mushrooms, and I don't just mean the magic ones. I mean, like, if you saw my camera roll, it's like all these mushrooms that I found out for, like, when I go out walking in the forest. So I have like all these mushrooms. But anyway, so normally when I have these ideas, I'm like, oh my goodness, that's such a cool idea. I can't wait to create that. Oh my goodness, who can I create this for? And then I'll look around my circle and I'll be like, I'll create it for them. Or I'll create it for them. And I'll just, immediately. So when I came out with this, that I was going to offer this intuitive thing, I immediately sent it to my longest two supporters who have literally, like, they have been there with me for years now. And, I thank them for being such consistent supporters of mine. So what I ended up doing, though, this is the big spot. I did this for myself first. I sat down with my questionnaire that I got prepared for everybody else to do. And I went through the questionnaire and answered it. And then I read it and I did a channeled intuitive drawing for myself first, before I gave it to anyone else. And I was so proud of myself for doing that, because, that's a long time to get to that point where you do it for yourself. So this is the picture. It's like 6,000 by 6,000 pixels. The ones that I'm going to do for everyone else will be 9,000 by 9,000. At 6,000 by 6,000, I could print this at 20 by 20 and it would print beautifully. But maybe people want to print it bigger. So I'm going to offer at a 9,000 by 9,000. So this was the picture that I ended up channeling for myself. There's so much depth in it, I can't even explain it. And this doesn't even give it justice. Let me clear that out of there. Like, look at just that one little section right there. Oh yeah, DPI 300 DPI. Right? Like, I'm just, there's so many pieces of it. And the cool thing about it, when I channeled it, is that, it's something that you can look at for a long, long time, and you may never fully ever explore every bit of it, right? Because there might be something else to continue to explore, right? I was so delighted with it. Right? Like the eyeball, like all of it. The symbolism in it, what I read through it when I reassess it, what I see in it is it's just amazing. Yeah. So I'm in the process of putting the questionnaire up on the website so that people can come in and, answer the questions and then do it. And right? Like, it's just, I love it. And when I think about what I wrote in my reflection, I can see it all in there. Like, I see how it came out. And like, I can't even, like, when I think about the process of it all, like, it's just so magical. It's just magical. Oh, did you want to hear today's channeled message? I'll say it, but I have to preface with, this is for entertainment purposes only. I could. Ooh, that's a great idea. I like that. And I do love the idea of collaborations. I do believe that collaborations are the future. Absolutely. Right? Yeah, that's something I could do, especially if I only did a live on one channel. Like, if I just did live on TikTok and I would just do it on, say, my phone and do the drawing on my iPad. Well, you gave me an idea. Sorry, my brain was pulsing. Yep. Collaborations are the way to go. All of it. Hi, Brandy. How are you? Hi, Sean Wonders. Or Jack. Hi, Jack. Interesting. Hello. How are you? So yeah, maybe I think I love that idea. How are you, Brandy? I was showing Warrior Crystals, the new thing that I'm offering at my website. And it's like really, I'm so excited about it. Right? Definitely don't say that on a plane. We got to be careful. For sure. I'm going to check in with the cards as well. So that's what started it. When I did the Ethereum Tarot deck, these cards I channeled as well. So like the King of Air, the Ten of Fire, the Page of Fire. So yeah, I channeled the cards, and then that made me have that idea of offering that. And there's so much more to it. But yeah, I'm super excited about that. And also offering custom meditations. I did these all on my computer, on my iPad in Procreate. Yeah. These ones these ones are hand painted. These ones I painted in watercolor. Oh, well, look at it. We got two mountains together. Look at that. These ones they're watercolored ones that I painted. Some of them are super cute. Some of them, they're just, these ones were all the ones that, yeah, I love the watercolor ones. They're just adorable. I love creating things. I love teaching. And so I create things and I teach people. And I love to teach you about your nervous system. I love to teach you how to understand yourself better. I love to teach you to tap into your creativity. I love to teach about sacred relationship. I love to study consciousness and reality. That's something that I like to study. And so I like to teach other people how to study that too. Yeah. Hi, Ms. Rebecca. How are you? We are going to check in with the cards. We're going to check in and do just a check-in on the collective energy. I'm going to smack my cards though. Hi, Mom of Two. How are you? All right, let's see what the energy is with the collective right now. Okay, Spirit, can I get a collective reading? So this may apply to you. She flew around and sat down on the butt side. I'm doing well. I'm in a season of I don't know, and I am deciding to approach that season of I don't know with awe and wonder, and I'm good with that. Ooh, we had some interesting energy, ladies, and like everybody, because there's more than just you two, and I'm making an assumption there anyway. All right, let's see what else we have. Oh, you're probably gonna find a message in one of these cards. I feel like there's gonna be something that's just gonna resonate with you because I tend to do that. Hi, Cuddles, how are you? All right, let's start with this little lady. This is the Queen of Fire, but the Queen of Fire was in the reverse. So, which one of you is on fire right now? All right, so when we have the Queen of Fire in the reverse, this means that she has either self-doubt, so she's not stepping into her fire, into her power, her passions, her creative explosion, right? So she's not doing things, or she's doing too much and she's burning herself out. She may be overextending her energy and or fearing her own brilliance. Yes, it is. It is. There's a lot of karma coming out. Karma, chameleon. That is like, so the Queen of Fire reminds you that you were born to shine, own your brilliance, embrace your passions, and lead boldly with love and confidence. Okay, so that's the energy that we're supposed to be in. So you're the one that'll determine whether or not you're going too full ahead, too fast, running, too much energy, or if you're the one who is not stepping into her power in that way. Like I said, other cards came out upside down too, and this is the Queen of Ether. So this is my deck that I created, and it is the Etherian Tarot. All these pictures are mine, and everything about the cards are mine, but they have the ether element because we need to be including the ether element as one of the 5 core elements. Okay, so the ether element, and with the Queen of Ether, she in the inverted is maybe overwhelmed by spiritual downloads. Like maybe we're getting a lot more energy coming in. Absolutely. If you've got a lot of fire, you need more earth. You absolutely need more earth if you've got a lot of fire. When there's a lot of fire, you have to look at your boundaries too. I love that one. That's so cute. That might be my favorite one. I mean, there have been some other cute ones in the past, but that one's a pretty cute one now. So that fire can be saying that you're not putting up boundaries, right? Oftentimes we get mad, and that explosion of that energy has nothing to do with the other person. It's because we should have said no a while ago and we haven't. And so now we're mad because we are overwhelmed and overburdened and whatever else is going on with, taking on more than our responsibility. So the Queen is about harnessing the right fire, right? The passion, the purpose, moving forward through that heart-centered energy versus running full steam ahead in that urgency. But also she knows who she is. So she'll stand in her power as opposed to sitting idly by. All right, the Queen of Ether. So again, we could need more earth. We got ether, we need to ground again. So there's a strong, strong need to go out and ground with both of these cards. And so the Queen of Ether in the inverted, like I said, you could be getting a lot of downloads. You may be struggling with energetic boundaries. I want to at some point. I'm just waiting for the big daddy in the sky to deliver me some of the coinage to do that type of stuff with. I love these cards too. They're my favorite. As soon as I made them, I stopped using everybody else's cards and I was like, nope, that's it. I'm done. And so then I just keep making other decks. All right. So the other thing it is about energetic boundaries. A lot of us who specifically identify as empaths or as highly sensitive people, we often have poor energetic boundaries. And that's because we think that we're supposed to take on everybody's energy, and we're not. We're not. We are supposed to, it's kind of like, even when you're getting downloads, you're not open all the time, right? I don't just say like, just download anything, anytime, just hit me up whenever you're ready. In the spiritual realm, you put up kind of like a sign that says, hey, I'm only open from 8 until noon and then from 1 until 6. And that's it. I'll take downloads at that point in time, unless it's an emergency. And I mean, that's, like override that some, but you set hours. You're not just completely open all the time. When I open myself up, like say, sometimes I get interacted with by a spirit. It's usually I've opened myself up, when I'm on a live, I've opened myself up for communication, for whatever. When I'm in my house, normally nobody comes calling, nobody. And it's because I'm not open all the time. That would be just silly, right? And when we think about being open, we also have to think about simultaneously closing, because it's not just about your energy reaching out to other spaces. It's the energy that's coming in at you that your nervous system has to interact with. Yeah. I heard that in order to do a do not sew, do a kickstart. Yes. I was thinking about that, but they were saying that in order to do a kickstart, you kind of have to have a really decent prototype or something. I don't know. I think this is a pretty decent prototype. You can see the pictures. I could do an idea of what I would make the cards look like on the finished product anyway, because I would have that. This would have Queen of Ether on it somewhere. There would be a border, right? Yeah. Okay. I'm going to work on that again. Okay. The Queen of Ether is also that you might be having difficulty integrating information that maybe is coming from like your divine knowledge that you're receiving, right? You're having a hard time bringing it into your body. I know both my girlfriends are like, I want it so bad. So that's 3, right? That's a good start. So the Queen of Ether, you can also take the Ether deck out the whole Ether suit out, and then you would have the regular tarot, which would be great for someone who's maybe starting with it. And then you can add the Ether element in. I put a whole bunch of different readings that you can do with the Ether, readings you can do just the main deck, all of them combined, like different kinds of readings that you can do with them. Everything's done. The guidebook's done. Everything's done. Nice. This one here is the 44 Keys of the Way. And it's a much smaller deck, but I love it because it's very personal, because these are all hand painted. This is the only deck of them. 44 Keys of the Way. Yep. The first key, where's my card? Where's the first key? The first key is a flame. It's the flame. The flame, that's the flame. Skipped past it. Where'd it go? Aha. The flame. The flame of origin. I'll read that one after. Okay. The Queen of Ether. The Queen of Ether is the beacon of celestial love and divine illumination. She is here to remind you that you are a sovereign being of light, fully capable of accessing infinite wisdom and guiding others through light and wisdom, right? This, monkey, right? So we have access to that infinite wisdom. We really do. It's not I love that saying. That's one of my favorites. Not my circus, not my monkey. So we have that definite energy of accessing that divine wisdom, and that's what the Queen of Ether is asking us to do. But just remember, when we're accessing that divine wisdom, we need to be very grounded. The whole goal was never to incarnate here to escape our body. We didn't, it seems so silly. I think I did so at one point, kind of get a little more into the spiritual, right? But it's all about bringing your spirit to earth and embodying it, right? That's the most powerful thing we can do. All right, we've got the Page of Ether that came out as well. The Page of Ether was also in the reverse. And the Page of Ether, this is about doubt in your intuition, having scattered thoughts, reluctance to trust the divine downloads, and fear of stepping into the unknown. Now, pages are all about newness. Okay, so this would be newness in the realm of spirit. And, right? I know, I love them so much. The next one is one card that I like. I'll explain some of them. Some of them have a lot of, some of them have some good meaning to me. So the Page of Ether invites you to embrace the mysteries of the universe with an open heart. It is a card of spiritual initiation, marking the first steps toward mastery. Trust in the unfolding journey and know that the wisdom of the cosmos is revealing itself to you in perfect timing. So you're never going to learn anything that you're not ready to learn. And if you are experiencing, symptoms with the downloads that you're receiving, or you're having a difficult time integrating the information, then go back to, what can I do for my body? What does my nervous system need? Right? And we don't tend to ask our body, the physical of ourselves, what we need. And when we ground into our body, which is the present moment and the vessel of our spirit, we're connecting into ourselves. Right? Yeah. It has a very, I know you mean. Yeah, I love this one. Okay. So the next card came out in the upright, and it is also ether. I can't believe we got the Queen, the Page, and the 10 of ether. But the 10 of ether came out in the upright. So when the ladies asked for a card earlier, I was saying that I'm doing this collectively. This doesn't mean that every single one of these cards applies to every single one of us. One of us may be experiencing some element of burnout. One of us may be experiencing a time where we're really being challenged with all the downloads that we're receiving, or integrating all of the information, accessing the wisdom. Maybe there's others of us who are just doubting a little bit, right? For this person here, this person is somebody who is experiencing spiritual completion. So they're actually leveling up, moving up to the next level. Hi, Sona. So this is embodiment of higher consciousness, full alignment with one's mission, and release of limitation. The 10 of ether signifies the highest state of spiritual awakening and self-realization. It is a card of profound spiritual wisdom, mastery, and unity with the divine. You are no longer seeking the path, you are the path. It is time to embrace your full radiance and step forward as the cosmic architect of your highest destiny. So this picture here, because I have a dog, and this is my dog, and me and my dog spirit. So it has a little bit more of a sweet little thing for me. All right. So this is the key. These are the 44 keys of the way. This is card number 1. So we start off with the flame card, and these are the core principles of the way. And this card says, for the affirmation is, I am the flame of the divine origin made manifest. It's a powerful affirmation. The remembrance, you are not here to become, you are here to remember. The flame has never left you and does not need improvement, only recognition. Beneath roles, reactions, and history, a steady light remains. When you return to stillness, that original light becomes accessible under directive. Practice. Put your hand on your heart. Inhale for 4 seconds. Exhale for 6 times 6 times. So do 6 breaths. And whisper, I return to the flame that made me. And then sit there for a minute. Let's sit there in silence for a minute. All right, let's see what card actually comes out from the 44 keys of the way, because I just pulled that one out so you can see number 1. All righty. Hello, hello. You're welcome. Have a great night. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for the gifts. And thank you for the little that information, the advice. I appreciate it. It's definitely a good thing to think about. Mm-hmm. Oh, there were 3. The pilgrim, the returning flame, and the living presence. The living presence. So all 3 of those jumped out. The pilgrim, my life itself is a sacred journey. The living presence, I stand fully present within my body and life. I can't even speak now. I stand fully present within my body and my life. And the returning flame, I always have the power to return to alignment. And we do. We can always return to alignment. There you go. You can rest easy. I hope you have a wonderful sleep with beautiful dreams. Leslie, are you still there? Hello. Hi, Leslie, if you're still there. If you're not, okay. Okay. What time are we at? 8:13? Me too. I'm happy you were by as well. Hello, 6+. How are you? Or 103? How are you? All right, let's see. Asona, are you still there, love? Hi, Indigo. Indigo Aura 555 changes. All righty, let me give him a little smack though. I'm gonna make sure we get the old energy out of there. Well, I don't think you could have got a better reading than that. And I'll show you the front of the card. So this is the 10 of Earth. And I'm just going to read the little itty bitty little blurb that it would have, which is legacy, stability, and lasting abundance. That's what it means. So I think that's a pretty good statement about your finances. Just so you also know, the other cards, because a stack of them fell. Okay. The only one that was inverted was this one. And these ones here are all positive. The 3 of water is celebration and joy. And the King of Fire is the visionary leader. The only thing that I'm going to say, because this one's upside down, is the 9 of ether. This is the spirit aspect. So just make sure that while you're doing all this stuff with money, you're not forgetting about your spirit. Okay? No. That's enough. That's enough for free. That's enough for free. I'm going to have a sip of tea. But yeah, it sounds good for the finances. But like I said, just make sure that you're not ignoring the spiritual, that you realize that you can build these things, but build them with source, with creator, not by yourself or in alignment with the universe. Hello. How are you this evening? So on Saturday, we are going to be doing a live. And in that live, we're going to be doing a powerful meditation. The focus of the meditation is going to be to cleanse and purify the spirit, as well as like all of the energy surrounding money. Because money, through all of the different ways that it has been utilized in society, it has been made very dirty. Whether that's because we have, we've continued to say statements like money is the root of all evil, which is putting that connotation onto the energy of money as well. Or it's the fact that it's been used in crimes, or it's been used in things like that. And I know I could send my mind and, say a bunch of things, but I have to be careful because, the algorithm doesn't like certain things being said. So when we think about money as being kind of dirty or tainted, and then we think about the fact that we are electromagnetic beings, then the whole point is to have things magnetized to us. So if we have individuals who are very much aligned with the divine, they're aligned with more of a pure energy, then if money is naturally been made dirty or tainted or is aligned with a little bit more of a negative energy, then how do you magnetize that to you unless you allow yourself to sit within that space of negativity? So instead of doing that, I think that we should, as a collective, cleanse money. And we just see money being cleansed through whether you call the creator of all God, or you call it source, or you call it, whatever you call it, creator, it doesn't matter. That prime creator of all life, of all, that eternal flame, if you're cleansing it through that light, then we're cleansing the money and aligning it with that purity. So then the people that are aligned with that become aligned, and it magnetizes to them more easily. And then people who are doing good things actually get money. Make sense? Does it make sense? That's one of the things that came out as a channel. Yeah, I do have that was a really good idea that friend of mine shared about doing intuitive drawings on here. Could set up a live to have that done, but they'd have to be really small pictures, and then they wouldn't be the full size that I would do. Interesting. So I'll show you what those intuitive pictures look like. Hello, guys. So partly, I mean, these are all intuitive pictures that I did for the Etherian Tarot, right? So this is the World. This is Judgment, right? The Ten of Fire, the Page of Fire, the Page of Water. So I did all of these here. We'll show the Magician, right? So they're all pictures that were intuited. Where's a good one? I like the Empress. The Empress. So anyway, these cards are all examples of intuitive artwork. Okay. Should show it over there too. And I do now offer these on my website. I offer them as larger images now. So there. Too much hard time now what to do. Too much hard time. You're having too much of a hard time right now. I don't know if you left yet. Hello. Hello. Yeah. All right. Anyway, I'm going to head off for the night. I will see you guys back here on Saturday. Oh, sorry. I thought you left. Okay, cool. So, I mean, the only thing that you can control is what you can control. And one of the things that you can control is your nervous system. What you can control is where your awareness and your attention is. What you can control is, what you do, take action on. You can control your thoughts. You can control your emotions. Although control is not the thing that I would choose for you to do with your emotions. I would choose for you to validate your emotions and, honor them and then do something healthy with them. Right? When we are at least regulated with our nervous system, at least the decisions we're making are going to be the most aligned, best decisions for us. The more that we allow our nervous system to become dysregulated, the less in control of ourselves we are. And we become more controlled by our emotions. And anyone that can become controlled by their emotions can be controlled by other people. Okay, so we want to learn how to regulate our emotion and stay in command of our emotions. It's not about not feeling things. Of course, we should feel things and we should validate them, right? But you just feel the things that you feel and honor them, allow the emotions to move through you, understand where they're coming from. You know, you can stick around here, hang out with me. I teach lots of stuff like this. I have lots of content on nervous system and on education. You know, some people come on and say that they're a healer. And at one point I said the same thing because I do a bunch of different things that help you to heal. But you're the healer. You're the one that heals you. I'm just the one that's teaching you different things to do. I'm teaching you about your nervous system, and I'm teaching you how to regulate, and I'm teaching you how to do these practices, or I'm teaching you journal prompts. I'm just teaching you. And then you learn. And as you apply it to your life, that's when you become the healer. And you're welcome. But do follow me so you can find your way back here. I go live on Saturdays. On Saturdays, we always do a powerful meditation. I channel meditations, and I do provide custom meditations, custom healing there's custom journeys. They're a bit different. I have a bunch of different things that I have on my website. And because it's currently in the process of being updated, if you are curious about anything on my website, just sign up for a free call and we can talk. And I'll tell you what I would suggest for you. I have lots of free resources there as well. I have a free group called Temple of Light. So, you know, if you join that group, then, you know, at least, you know, you're always going to know where I am, because if I'm not on social media, I'll still be there. Okay. Well, I'll be back here on Saturday at 10 a.m. We're going to do a check-in, see how you guys are doing. If you need something for your nervous system, or you want to talk about something where, you know, reality, consciousness, spirituality, anything that you want on education, we can talk about a lot of different things. But yeah, and then we'll do the meditation. And this week, I think we're going to do a meditation on money, a big meditation on money. So you might, if you're having any concerns that way, you might want to join on Saturday. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. I'm going to head off for today. Yeah. Okay. Sounds good. All right. Yeah, I think that's about it. Did you want a card? I'll give you one of my nice cards. Not that they're not all of them are good cards. Everyone is always the best card. I'll give you one and then I'll head out here, okay? The first step. Every path begins with a single step. Progress is built from small, consistent actions. Waiting for certainty delays movement. Action clarifies what thinking cannot. The next step is enough. So choose one 5-minute action, complete it now, and record what changed. So have you been hesitant to make a decision in one way or another, or you're waiting for perfect conditions to do something? That's when that card's saying, like, just take the first step. It could be anything, right? Even if it was like you knew that you needed to do healing, you needed to work on trauma. We'll just use something that I'm very familiar with. So if you're something and you have to work on trauma, the first step is you've acknowledged that you need to work on it. So taking that first step could be connecting with a therapist. It could be signing up for a healing program. It could be just putting your hand on your chest and asking yourself, what do I need? And then doing that for yourself. It could be simple like that. It doesn't have to be something where it's something necessarily external, right? Sometimes we just have to slow down and ask ourselves what we need. And the next thing that we need might even be food or sleep or other things like that. Mm-hmm. And I'll tell you, because that one was the first step, The other two cards that came out is there's a turning point here and the courage to stand. So you're really being given a strong message to take a chance and to just take one step in that direction, and the next step will reveal itself. I'm in a really interesting position myself right now, Guru. And, you know, like that's wonderful. I mean, I think that everybody should be happy with that. So I moved out here to join and help a friend start up a nonprofit. Okay. And when I first came out here, I was like, oh, it's going to be a year to a year and a half. And that's exactly what this fully furnished house was renting for, was a year to a year and a half. So it perfectly aligned. Well, a little while ago, like, and I mean, like not even a month ago, I was talking with the owner and she mentioned a potential that they were going to sell it in June. And I was like, okay, that's June. That's, you know, okay. That gives me a lot of time to determine, you know, get another, whatever, figure out next steps. Well, then I was talking to her and a little more recently, and they actually have an opportunity to come back here possibly for December of this year. That's like 3 months from now. I don't know where to go. I don't know what the next step is. I don't know if I stay in Alberta. I don't know where I go. I don't know. But you know what? I do know that I'm going to be okay. I do know that a way will appear. I do know that the only thing that I can do today is be concerned with today and take one step and do the things that I am supposed to do today. And today, well, I have my companies to run. You know, I have this company to run. I have work to do for Hugs for Homeless. We have a Hugs backpack drive that's going on. So I'm trying to get donations for that. You know, there's a lot you know, I have courses. I'm teaching one right now that's 7 days in length. I have one that's starting next month that's, you know, 8 weeks in length. I have all kinds of things I'm doing on my website. So there's lots going on. But the only thing that I can do is be present and make the most aligned decisions at every moment that I can. And then I know that everything's going to be fine. So I've decided to sit in a state of awe and wonder. Awe about all the wonderful things that are already happening in my life. I have a beautiful home that I'm living in right now that I love. I love the outdoors. I love birds. You know, I can have awe about rainbows, and I can be in awe about the fox that I see in my yard. You know, I can be in awe about all the different types of mushrooms and lichen and, you know, fungi that I have found throughout the woods this year. I can be in awe about all these wonderful things. And then I can be in wonder. And be in wonder about the things that I don't know. So instead of being, I don't know, I'm saying, I wonder what's coming next. I wonder what my next house is going to look like. I wonder where I'm going to live. I wonder if it's going to have property. I wonder if I'm going to own it. I wonder how it's all going to come about. I wonder what my vehicle is going to look like. I wonder what, right? So if I stay in that state of wonder, then it's just, I know things are going to go well. I'm just wondering how well. And it's a lot better than going, oh my God, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know where I'm going to go. If I sit there and say, I don't know, you know what I do? I don't know. That's exactly what I do. I sit in the energy of I don't know. And that's exactly what I'm going to get. Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. Your thought of whether you can or you can't will determine that you can or you can't. Sure, there's a possibility when you say, I can do that you can't do it, but you're going to try it. You're going to put your heart into it. You're going to give it you're going to give it your best. If you think you can't, why would you even try? Why would you even start? There'd be no point. I don't start things to fail them, right? That's why it's the foolish step that you take, that first step. The tarot starts at 0 with the Fool, and the Fool is the one that says, I can do this. I plan to go from the Fool to the world. And I'm going to do that. I believe in myself. And you take that risk. You take that free fall. And say, I've got this. Right? All right. Been on for an hour and a half. I think it's time to head off. Come and hang out with me again. Like the live. Follow me. Come hang out with me. We can talk about all kinds of different things. Take care, Guru. Thank you for hanging out with me. I'll talk with you guys. I'll be back here Saturday at 10 a.m. Mountain. So 10 a.m. Mountain time. If you're in the Eastern, right at noon Eastern. All right. I love you guys, and I'll see you all later. I'm going to close down all these other feeds and this one up here.